Hello everyone, now I want to talk about my research paper. The topic of this research is using role-playing as a way to teach target culture. The purpose of the study is to identify students' attitudes towards role-playing and describe how role-playing can enrich the culture of target language. Research questions. What are the attitudes of junior students towards role-playing for the development of cultural awareness of target language? The next is, how can role-playing contribute to the development of foreign cultural awareness? The significance of this research. This study will be beneficial for students who are interested in an effective method of learning and teaching the target culture. It helps to provide knowledge on how to develop natural ways of speaking and increase students' activity in the teaching process. Let's talk about literature review. In the literature review, I mentioned the works of these people: Jacob Marino, John Maxwell, Tomolin and Stemplesky, Patrick Moran, and Krasner. All these authors gave clear definitions from their own understanding about culture and role-playing technique. Also, they consider that role-playing is the best way in teaching environment. According to these authors, culture is a great achievement of people as reflected in their history, social institution, work of art, music and literature. Role-playing. Role-playing is the act of imitating the character and behavior of a type of person who is very different from yourself and is deliberately, for example, as a training exercise and without knowing it. Finally, they agreed that role-playing can be useful and a unique tool of teaching the target culture, as it encourages students to develop interpersonal skills needed to communicate with people from different backgrounds, and it also provides an opportunity to emotionally participate in intercultural learning and reflect cultural diversity. The next part is methodology. Firstly, data collection. The study was conducted using a mixed method, which includes qualitative and quantitative methods. The reason for this is to be able to identify the perceptions and attitudes of junior students who in practice use it, how often they use role-play as a learning method to improve their cultural awareness and language development, as well as the development of social skills and how role-playing played a role in this matter, which is verified using qualitative and quantitative methods. Primary quantitative and qualitative data were analyzed using individual interview, Appendix A, and questionnaire, Appendix B. Secondly, participants. In this research, about 20 junior students of our university who study two foreign languages took part in this investigation process. The decision to choose junior students was focused because the main aim of the study was to identify their past experience and attitudes towards role-playing technique, which is used in the course public speaking. The participants worked in different ways, which gives the researcher data from different points of view. 20 participants were asked to answer a questionnaire that focuses on identifying their attitudes toward role-playing in teaching the target culture. 10 of them were asked in an interview to provide the researcher with some basic knowledge about role-playing as a way to develop cultural awareness. The next is instrumentation. First is questionnaire. Questionnaire was conducted through Google Forms. All students were able to answer in 5 Likert scale questions. This questionnaire contains 10 questions that are clear and easy to respond. The data were analyzed by applying the statistical mean value. The next is interview. The interview was held through the WhatsApp social network. The interview questions contains 7 questions. It turned out to be effective. The interview was conducted orally and with a video call face-to-face, and all participants were able to answer openly and clearly express their opinions. The next part is results and findings. According to the results of questionnaire, most respondents were positive for each category of the statements in the questionnaire. Students also enjoyed role-playing as an effective method. They benefited from this method through increasing their self-confidence and speak to an audience, expressing their opinions, and also determining cultural differences. Also from the interview, it can be concluded that role-playing helps students improve their speaking skills so that they were able to speak more naturally and practice more to speak up in the target language. It also helped reduce anxiety, calm down. Also, students explained that role-playing is a fun and interesting way to learn. So, as the participants mentioned that they were not interested in the target culture before using role-playing because their knowledge of cultural awareness was limited only by the information that they heard and saw before. But after using this technique, they not only learned to speak in the public, but also tried to study the culture of the target language, because their role was associated with a target language, and so it was necessary to know its culture. So therefore they searched and asked, and also in this way they sought to learn more. Finally, the researcher found out the significant improvement cultural awareness through role-playing technique. The role-playing technique is applicable in order to encourage students to increase their cultural awareness and their human values, such as being tolerant, showing respect, feeling sympathy, appreciate the relationship between people around you, and look at the world from a different perspective, politely asking and being more open. All of these aspects are truly an integral part of every person. The last part is suggestion. Referring to the data, the researcher urges the English teacher to change certain types of topics in the educational process so that the students are interested in the learning the target language and its culture. Introducing this technique, the teacher should pay needed attention to students' awareness of understanding, since the result of the study was the smallest development of understanding. An English teacher is encouraged to use a role-playing technique in teaching speaking and cultural awareness, as a